So this evening, we have a wonderful, wonderful producer. Her name is Angela, and you may know Angela. She's spoken before, and she's one of our co-founders. She has spearheaded global initiatives that connect community-based organizations and public and private agencies to create economic sustainability in underserved communities. Her work supports networks of businesses, people, and places to share resources that ignite innovation and advance local economic development. Angela is a futurist, a holistic arts practitioner, a self-proclaimed vegan chef, and as I said before, a co-founder of Disruptor DAO. So without further ado, here is Angela.
Thank you, Zawadi, and welcome, tribe. Hey, family. Thank you for joining us tonight as we explore how to cultivate an abundant mindset for creating in this world that we have come to know as Web3. So let's first start off. What is Web3? The Web3 is the next phase of the internet. It's built on principles of decentralization, blockchain technology, and digital ownership, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in a minute. So unlike the current internet, where big companies control most of the information and its interactions, and they definitely control all of the data, Web3 gives the power back to the people, back to us. So it's like a community garden where everyone can plant, nurture, and harvest their own ideas, and it provides opportunities for us to monetize those ideas and to own our ideas outright. And all of the information and things that we feed into the internet, Web3 provides the opportunity for us to be the true owners of that information. So decentralization. The power of decentralization, what does that mean? So decentralization means spreading power amongst many people rather than the few. So imagine a community where decisions are made together and not just by a few leaders, where this creates a world where everyone can contribute, make decisions together, and benefit equitably or equally. And so right now, we typically know like hierarchical types of organizations and power structures where there's like one or two people or a small group of people making all the decisions for the masses. Decentralization and Web3 provides opportunities for the community to be the decision makers, the leaders, and again, the owners of really the world that's being created. Oh, also wanted to note, folks, please feel free to take pictures or screenshots of everything that's being shared here tonight. We are going to expand our minds, and there's going to be quite a bit of information shared and maybe some new terms and terminology. So please feel free to take screenshots and also ask questions in the chat. And as Zawadi mentioned, we'll definitely have time for Q&A at the end. So the blockchain, which some of you may be familiar with. The blockchain is the backbone of Web3. It's like a digital notebook that everyone can write in, but they can't erase it. So it ensures that everything that you create or share is secure and transparent, and again, it is owned by you. Blockchain is the foundation for building trust and authenticity in the digital world. And so you can also think about the blockchain as an Excel spreadsheet. It's essentially a ledger, and everyone who inputs data into that ledger can see it. It's time-stamped in real time, and no one can go back and change the time or change the data. We can only continue to add to that ledger. So everybody who has access to that ledger or to that blockchain can see it. It's transparent. And the information that is housed on that blockchain or on that ledger is owned by the people who contribute to it. All right, so there are a couple of things or a couple of avenues or ways in which Web3 is reflected or illustrated. And AI is one of the most fascinating, and there are a couple that we're going to get into, but AI is one of the most fascinating features of Web3. It's like your creative partner in this world. So I like to envision AI in Web3 is like having a super smart best friend who helps you bring your ideas to life. I use AI every single day. You can use AI for many different things to develop business plans, to create art. Every single image that you will see tonight is created by AI. You can use it to write stories and plan lessons. And so AI is a way in which we can, I use AI to be smarter. Like I really, the way that it's used, the way that you tool it, the way that you program it, really allows for your minds to be expanded, or at least that's my experience. All right, the metaverse is another component of Web3. The metaverse is like a new digital universe. So imagine a world, a virtual world, where you can teach, you can create art, you can conduct wellness classes, you can run a business without physical boundaries. Everyone in the world has access to your business or to your lessons or to your art. It's a 24-hour production. It's a 24-hour space because it's virtual. Anyone around the world at any time can access your creations that you create and place into the metaverse. It's like a digital universe where you can interact and explore and create 3D spaces as if you are in person. There are places right now within the metaverse and businesses within the metaverse right now where you can go into the digital reality and purchase their product, and it can show up on your doorstep. And you can engage and interact with other people inside of the metaverse from all around the world. It's really, really a fascinating experience. And so this is another way to expand our minds and leverage Web3 technologies to create. So what are some use cases? And I would love for folks to just drop in the chat where you, like what your specialty is, what your interest is, what your business may be, because there are use cases for everyone, because this is definitely the future. So artists can sell their digital art using the security of the blockchain to reach global audiences. Also, some technologies within the blockchain allow for people to be able to receive royalties infinitely. So for artists, it can be a really transformative tool to truly, truly own your data, own your music, own your art, own your creations outright without intermediaries or middlemen or middle people trying to get a piece of your creation from the vantage point of owning it and being able to monetize that yourself. Instructors, yoga instructors or wellness people or folks who are in mental health professions can conduct virtual classes in safe, serene environments and can interact with students worldwide. Another way that Web3 can be used for folks who give classes and things like that is that you can have like credentials that are on the blockchain. So say you take a class or you offer a class or a training or such, you can offer a credential that is stamped on the blockchain that signifies your learning in that particular area of expertise. You can also do like rewards for memberships and all kinds of really cool things, leveraging toolings of blockchain, for instance, for your business in Web3. Educators, there's so many things that educators can do utilizing the tools of Web3. I mentioned before, you can create curriculum and teach in virtual classrooms all around the world to make teaching accessible from everywhere and to make learning really fun and interactive. Right now, there's a metaverse, Morehouse University actually, is giving classes in the metaverse. Some of their students have held global pitch competitions in the metaverse, and I believe they're coining themselves as the first metaverse university, I believe, or something in that fact. Please look it up, how Morehouse College is leveraging Web3 and the metaverse specifically to teach and to provide different levels of skilling for their students. to prepare them for the future of work and the future of business. Business professionals can use blockchain for transparent and secure transactions. Mentioned just a minute ago about having it be like a ledger or like an Excel spreadsheet. So just imagine if you were to conduct business or you're doing business with someone and both of you had the exact same ledger, it's time stamped, there's no discrepancies, and you're able to build trust with your clients and your partners, especially if you're doing business that's not hyper local. You can expand your business and your reach across the globe, leveraging these immersive technologies. Oh, my slide is not going. Oh, there it is. Okay. So in cultivating an abundant mindset, there are several things that we must do. First of all, we must dream like expansively, right? This space and time, this moment in history allows us the opportunity to be able to create in ways in which we have not, as humans, been able to do in like the past 100 years, right? Some folks are equating this time to what's called the fifth industrial revolution. So to think about, I wasn't around when the cotton gin was created, nor when the light bulb was created, right? But we know that those moments shifted the trajectory of humans and society for centuries, right? That's the moment of time that we are living in right now. So how do we cultivate an abundant mindset? Educating yourself. Spend time each week learning about blockchain, AI, the metaverse. There are many, many resources out there. YouTube University is a great resource for learning about these things and really understanding real case scenarios for how this world is shifting. Join communities, online forums, groups like Disruptor DAO. Also, we have our friends BK Crypto who are with us. Journey to Wealth is another group who we all educate on the future of work, the future of business, how we can invest and really co-create together so that we can live abundantly and create opportunities for our communities to thrive and grow. Experiment. Don't be afraid to try new technologies. There are tons of platforms out there that have many different types of toolings and free trials and are also beginner friendly. So feel free to, try out new things. I can guarantee you every single more effective, more productive with your time. So that's one of the greatest things that I really appreciate about the tooling of Web3 is that it allows for us to be able to be more, to do more and to achieve more because we now have the tools to be able to do so. And experiment. Dream big. That's where we are. Dream big. Keep a personal journal. Write out your ideas, no matter how big or small. Remember that today's dreams can become tomorrow's realities using Web3. So definitely want to cultivate a strong and abundant mindset and just keep in mind that this world of Web3 is so expansive. Oh, there we are. You have the power to create your own world. Again, please feel free to take screenshots of everything that we've shared here. To thrive in Web3, cultivate curiosity, be expansive and curious and open, and have a willingness to experiment. Dream big, embrace new technologies, and see challenges as opportunities to grow. Remember, in Web3, the only limit is your own imagination. So I thank you for allowing me to share and hopefully expand our minds and our dreams and our hopes today. And go forth and prosper in creating your own world. Thank y'all. Oh, you're muted, Delay. Let me unmute you. There you go.
Thank you. That was so, so great. And then what was really fabulous were the slides that you had that even, to back up the fabulosity, I'm going to call, of what you can do in Web3, AI. So one of the questions in the chat is, Where in the metaverse can you interact in real time?
So there are several metaverse worlds, right? Decentraland is one that's really, really popular that a lot of people engage in. And there are others. I forget the one right now that we used to be in with Bonita. It's a Microsoft um, platform. It's free to, go in and create your own avatar. That's another thing too, is that there are a lot of things out there that are just free to be a part of. But I would definitely try out Decentraland if you're interested. And then also this group where we could definitely, so I know we're going to get to the next slide in a little bit in terms of our resources, but Disrupt Your Dial, we have a resource section on our website and can definitely continue to add, to specific to that question and things like that. So thank you for that. But Decentraland is one that I know off the top of my head.
I think I just saw OpenSea. Now the AI, the metaverse that you were talking about by Microsoft, I think they may have discontinued that because that was a really robust
Mm-hmm.
one and it was free.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've come up with anything else. But there's also Sandbox.
Oh, yes, and
There's Crypto Voxels.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
and just
spatial. That's another one. Spatial. How could I forget? And we
spatial.
actually
Okay.
have a space in the metaverse inside of spatial. That's free. Actually, it's free. It's free to go in there and to just look around. I was actually playing around with this 2 days ago. How could I forget that? But spatial is another one. It's free to just go in there and roam around, and you can find events taking place that you can just join. So spatial is another one.
Okay. And I just wanted to let you know when you ask people to drop into the chat what they were doing, what they do in life, we've got doll makers, manifest coaching, we've got actors. One of our members is creating mental health programs for youth. We have a flag dance ministry,
Oh yeah.
fitness, we've got artists. So there's a lot of things like right now, there's like a huge learning curve on what you do and how you bring it to the metaverse. What type
Mm-hmm.
of time do you think that it takes one to learn to how to apply themselves from Web 2 and transfer into Web 3?
Oh, it takes a tremendous amount of intentionality. I don't want to say time because time is relative, right? But it just really depends on, again, your dreams, right? What is it that you're looking to manifest? What is it that you're looking to create? There's a wonderful woman by the name of Artsy, and Artsy creates beautiful, beautiful spaces. Actually, we have another space in the metaverse that Artsy created as well when we first started. And these names, you can just look them up. You can Google them, ARTSY. And but based on the detail that's there and the beauty of it, I can tell that a lot of time and effort and love also too was put into these spaces, right? So yeah, it definitely takes intentionality, but when it comes together, it's so beautiful and worth it. I think so.
Thank you. And thanks for that tip about time versus intentionality, because time is really not relative when you're intentioning bringing your ideas to life in a new
Mm-hmm.
format. And you mentioned Artsy. I found Artsy a couple years ago, and her work is astounding. I remember I was
Mm-hmm.
online one night and I was tuned into an opera diva, and she talked about this artist who created an underwater stage for her. And I said, it's got to be Artsy. And so I started Googling, and it was. I mean, I think everybody, if you want to look at her work, it's probably, I know somebody put in the chat, but it may be Artsy VR, but she is
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. That's all I can say. So
Yes, indeed.
let me also oh, and we had ed tech and STEM in the room as well. Let me not forget that.
Mhm.
Um, are there any questions?
Yeah,
Are there any other questions, I should say?
let me see. And I can just, oh, we got one more slide, so I'll just keep my screen up. And feel free to either come off mute or you can raise your digital hand if you like. I'm just going through the chat here. Tina, I would love to see your flag ministry in the metaverse. That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Someone says, Rakisha, I think, asked a question. No, Keisha asked a question. Can you give me an example of, I'm not really sure. Oh, maybe that was a question of what type of metaverse music it is.
Jay Nicole also has her hands raised in case you can't see.
Okay. Hey, Jay Nicole.
Hi. So I just want to be very transparent, honest. First of all, thank you for this. This is really helpful just as I continue to learn more about the blockchain and Web3 and everything. But I'm gonna be honest, like at this point, I still don't see the benefit of using the metaverse or even the blockchain for business. I understand the transparency of it. I understand the coolness factor of it. But at this point, it just doesn't seem to be a big enough motivator for me to make the switch. Am I missing something?
What's your business?
I am a manifestation coach.
Okay. So I would offer to look into the future of your industry, right? Okay. Where the metaverse is going. So the metaverse was a big conversation maybe like a year and a half ago, and then it kind of filtered out, but it's coming back. And it's coming back now because of its integrations with blockchain and AI. From the vantage point of, and I don't want to get too techy, but the future of what this looks like is what is called a digital twin. And so a digital twin is essentially all of the data and the technology that's overlaid with our physical reality, right? So say for instance, you're walking down Times Square and VR glasses are hitting the market now and they're going to become more prevalent in the future. And so people can go into the store, the physical store there in Times Square, or they can go into the metaverse store in Decentraland, and there will be opportunities to, buy different things, have specials on different things, just blending that world of digital and physical reality, right? Another example of this is that right now, there's a pizza shop, and I believe it's in New York, but there's a pizza shop, and I think it's in Decentraland, where you can go into Decentraland, buy that pizza with your crypto, or with your sand rather, because that's Decentraland's token, and that pizza will arrive on your doorstep in real life at your house. So if you are so if you're a manifestation coach and you want to give courses or classes or reach global communities, you could host those things, or you could have a store, you could have a shop or an office, say in Decentraland or in Spatial, where people could come there to receive your coaching. That's just one way that I'm kind of seeing people have already started to do those types of things. Offering yoga classes, meditation during right before we came back outside, in like 2022 or something like that, 2021, people began to use the metaverse for meditation, and safe spaces for things like that. And so I would offer everyone here to just Google, look up and do research on the future of your industry in Web3. And you will be amazed as the types of information and just the types of ideas that come up. If you're looking to expand your business, have a global business, or have a global reach, that's really where or how Web3 is going to, you're going to be able to leverage Web3 if you're looking to have a more global presence and a broader reach in your industry or your business. I hope that helps. Another way too, specific to the blockchain, some of us have heard about NFTs, right? Like non-fungible tokens. That's essentially anything that's not a currency. So for instance, Jay Nicole, say for instance, you have like a rewards program, or you have a subscription, right, to your offering. You can have those as NFTs, and those that has value, right? That will then place you at a space where like you have credentialed your offering. You have credentialed and added tangible value to what it is that you are sharing with the world, your creations that you're sharing with the world. So any books that you put out, anything that we create every day, if you're writing something, if you're, anything digital that you do every single day can essentially be an NFT, which essentially means that it is an asset that you own that can be monetized, right? So thinking about things from that perspective, I hope that helps you a little bit, Nicole. But I would definitely offer just do some research. There's tons of information out there.
Yeah, that does help. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tina popped in, going to worship in the metaverse. And I remember when All Space VR was big, I would go to church on Sundays in the metaverse. But to move along, oh yeah, there's one more thing. As you probably know, your dad is in the chat, and he said it's all Greek to him. So I will let you explain to him how this would help his construction business.
Yes, I was going to do that. Thank you, Dad.
I think I'll chime in next week because I was just excited about what Sister Angela presented tonight. And we're in the urban farming space. And I think the metaverse applies to so many applications in what we do. I know we're running, I guess, maybe 5 minutes over time. So I'll chime in next week to keep y'all, on point this night. But this was outstanding and inspirational and blessed.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And we look to see you next week.
Okay, sound good.
Okay,
All
peace
right.
out.
Peace.
Peace.